What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jay Stokes. I know it's been a minute since I talked to you guys, so I'm really excited. I'm really pumped up to go through this topic with you guys. Uh, it, my hiatus was due to intentionality, a little bit of procrastination. I really wanted to deep dive into this work, this art that I'm taking up from doing these podcast videos, these YouTube videos, and really making sure I'm delivering something of value to you guys. Before I had something to talk about because I went through a very traumatic experience and I've believed that it can help somebody, and I want to continue down that road. So I wanted to make sure I'm giving you something good, something important, something of value that can really help you. So it only makes sense that my comeback video would be about being intentional no matter the impact to others. So without further ado, let's start the conversation. Being intentional is one thing that people do not fully understand. When you have to be intentional, that means you will have to take a large amount of focus, time, and dedication into one thing or multiple things depending on your skill set, but usually one thing. Because usually for most people, it's starting a business, it's their relationship, it's relationship with their significant other or their kids or their parents. Maybe they had a father or a mother that wasn't in their life. They had to be intentional to repair that. If you have a business, you have to be intentional to get that business off the ground and let it be successful. And then in your marriage, you have to be intentional to be a good husband or wife. Or, you have to figure out, how can I be the best version of myself in any of these situations? And all of these things are not necessarily, like, figuratively speaking, a dream, but all of them is a passion, and it's something that you've committed to yourself. You're holding yourself accountable, saying, I want to do this. I want to be this type of person. I want to have this type of relationship. I want to have this type of business. And that's a dream. We're going to categorize that as a dream, which can be reality once you put it into a vision. But I always say, people say, if you want to do something, if you want to commit to something, write it down. Because when you put it in black and white, when you can see it, it's attainable. When it's a dream, you're just leaving it up to thought and up to chance. And you're like, it's in my thought process. But when it's on paper, you're like, oh, no, I need to stay here. I need to stay focused on this. I need to stay the course. Because there's obviously some value in here. And it's something that I want to do. And I know, because in my heart of hearts, in my mind, it's passionate to me. And this is where it impacts others. When something is passionate to you, people are not going to understand because they're not you. That's why we were built differently. We're built in the image and likeness of God, but we're not built identical to each other. We all have different things that make us move, different quirks and different excitements. So what brings you excitement might not bring me excitement, but that doesn't mean what you're doing is dumb and what I'm doing is dumb. That just means we need to figure out how we can collaborate so I can push you forward and you can push me forward. But oftentimes we don't get that in a human society. In this today's society, it's like, nah, that's stupid. I can't support you, but I wish you the best of luck, bro. What? First of all, if you don't got somebody in your corner, like, people show you who they are. You need to get rid of them ASAP. But this is what happens when you're working on something. When you're like, hey, I'm married now, bro. I really want to be the best version of myself for this lady. This lady comes into this house day in and day out after work and makes sure that I got something to eat. The kids are done. The kids have everything situated, that they're situated, the bills. Like, they are a queen in my household. How dare I constantly go out night over night, every weekend? I'm with you guys, y'all. We're doing nothing. We're doing the same things we did when I was single. She's only tolerating it, but eventually she will not be able to tolerate it. And it will be because I never was intentional on this marriage. So, bro, I need to step back from what y'all doing. I still love y'all from afar, and I will still come around, but I need to be intentional and be in my house or be in her face. Not really smothering her, but just be intentional as a husband. Be intentional as a boyfriend. Be intentional as a wife. Be intentional as an employee. Be intentional just for your career goals. Be intentional as a son or a daughter. Like, there's so many roles in which intentionality plays a major part. And when you get focused, Those people who are unfocused are already aligned with what they want to do, so they just want to have fun. They just want things to stay the same. Those are people who are not progressive. They're selfish, and you need to start filtering them things out. But being intentional actually is a benefactor, and it will assist you in filtering these people out. But the reason that they don't get it is because they didn't think it. They didn't dream it. They didn't think it. It's not their passion, but it's yours. And what do you need to do when something's a passion? Stay focused and stay on it. Back in 2020, I decided that, or 2019, I decided that my family was my focus. I was still like, even though being married for at that point, what, 3, 4 years, you still don't realize how much it plays a factor between two different people coming from two different crosses of life. They always say the fifth year, if you can make it to the first 5 years of marriage, then you should be good. There's still going to be some obstacles and hurdles that you have to get over, but you should be good. And boy, that fourth year was a doozy. But what you got to understand is that I chose intentionality, and I'm not perfect by far. I still make mistakes, but I'm choosing to rebound faster. I'm choosing my marriage over the majority of things. So, and I do that with my career. I do that with my kids. I'm choosing to be a father. I'm choosing to be present. I'm choosing to keep them first. Everything, intentionality is a choice, and people don't realize that. People are like, oh, I gotta be intentional. I'm intentional. I did this. No, you have to choose this daily. You have to take up your cross daily. Being intentional one day does not constitute multiple days, does not constitute for the rest of the month. You have to choose to be intentional day in and day out. I want to have a seat at the table at this company. I need to be able to learn everything I need to learn and grow so I can be in a position and have a title of power. You can't do that by doing one project and saying, remember I did this? Yeah, I remember. What else have you done? That project is going to be in people's past as fast as it can be over. You have to stay on the grind. If you want to open up a business, you have to be intentional. You have to choose to be intentional daily. Figure out the best marketing tips. Where's the best market for this to be? How can I define my customer base? How can I have a solid business plan and understand in where I need to open up my brick and mortar? You need to be intentional in seeking out all different types of information. That's not for anyone else to do because they didn't dream this, you did. They didn't want it, you did. They didn't ask for it, you did. So it all comes down to us. Choice and intentionality, and they go hand in hand. They are married. You have to choose to be intentional. People will fall by the wayside. They are not going to be there with you because they don't understand why you're doing it. But they will try to ride the coattails once you make it to the top. And that's when you have to define who you're going to keep around you. Everybody can't make it with you. Everybody can't come with you to the top. But they can be around and you can help them. I'm not saying cut anybody off, but understand your audience and understand your circle. If you don't have some solid people in your circle, being intentional will help you figure those people out and get them out the way ASAP. And you have to understand that everybody that you kept along, they were probably only supposed to be there seasonally, and you ended up keeping them lifetime. And this is the time, after this video, start being intentional and start realizing this person's not bringing me value. This person's not bringing me value. Or you might be the person that's not bringing them value. I mean, sometimes you gotta look at yourself in the mirror. I have a video that I did, assets versus liabilities. I felt like prior to when my wife and I separated, I was an asset. During that separation, I was a liability. And I'm still working on being an asset again. Because when nobody wants to be around the cancer, right? Nobody wants to be around that troublemaker. What parents always be like, don't hang around them. They're bad. Don't you know, there might be a negative influence on you. And that's the status that I was in. And that's okay. I mean, at that point, I thought I was doing what I thought was right. And what you got to realize is just because you assume that it's right, just because you assume that you're justifying it, doesn't always make it right. But people have to respect your decisions. And if it is right, then it is. And you don't need those people. But if it's not right, you'll know inside in your heart of hearts if what you're doing and what you're choosing to do is the correct thing to do. It's something called a conscience, and it will eat at you. And if it's eating at you, that means you're doing something just to do it because maybe you're being pressured, maybe you are told this is the right thing to do. I don't know what your motivation is, but if it's something that's eating at you, then 9 times out of 10, that's not your actual genuine decision of something to do. Like you did not decide to do what you're doing. And if you feel at peace, then stay the course. Stay the course because that's something that is bringing you peace, it's something that's bringing you joy. And like I said before, not everybody will understand it. Not everybody will understand it. I know I had a lot of controversy when I was starting these videos because people was like, "How can a cheater tell me how to mend my relationship, how to heal my relationship, how to evolve in my relationship?" I can tell you because I have experience. I can tell you because I know why I cheated. I can tell you because from a male perspective, a lot of females think that men are very complicated, and we're not. We're as dumb as a doornail, and we're simple. We're very simple, and I can. That's a topic for another video. But at the end of the day, I had to fight adversity and understand that people wouldn't understand why I'm doing these videos and what angle I'm taking because my only purpose is to help somebody. And I had that vision, I had that dream, and I want it to be a reality. And it will. It will. This is just one step into this stairway to success. I'm on a stairway to heaven, and I just want to be able to reach people and help people. But if I'm not intentional, if I don't stay the course, if I don't choose to pick up this camera daily and give you content that you can thrive off of, then I'm not serving my purpose and I'm going to again be a liability. I'm only an asset when I'm providing somebody some goods and service. And that doesn't always mean physical, monetary. When I'm providing something that I'm feeding their soul, I'm feeding you things that you need to hear that we don't have enough conversations of. I'm being intentional, understanding that this thing that's happening right here from a guy, you don't get that often. In the society we have now, we're starting to see more men speak up on what they're hurting on, and speaking on their past traumas. But I know that this is something that I want to do. And if it don't touch you, that's fine. But there's somebody out there that needs this because there's people out there that's been asking for it. And I'm choosing to be intentional. So today I ask you, what are you choosing to be intentional on? What is something that you it has been tugging on your heartstrings and you just haven't stepped into your purpose because you're worried about what other people are going to say? You're worried about how people are going to view you. You're worried about what public opinion is going to be. Well, there's an internal opinion of yourself. And until you do that, you will have an emptiness. You will have a hole. You will start doing things to seek out satisfaction, and it will not bring it to you. It will not bring it to you because you're not stepping into your purpose. So if you're supposed to start a business, and you've been like God's been telling you to start that business, I urge you today to go do that. I urge you today to step into your purpose and be intentional. Choose to be intentional daily on that business plan. Choose to be intentional on networking. Choose to be intentional on trying to seek out any type of advice, any type of networking possibilities that you can start that business. Funds, finances, whatever the case may be. If you are, if you know that you're in a career that you shouldn't be in because you can be doing something else, I urge you to be intentional. I urge you to step out on your purpose and start doing something. You don't have to quit your job. A lot of people think if I have to do this, I have to do this solely. I have worked full time at a company. That does not mean I'm not going to take my time and choose to do these videos. Choose to give you guys content outside of that. Because if it's something that you want to do, you'll make time for it. Because we make time for everything. We make time for Free Before 11. We make time for Taco Tuesdays. We make time for NFL Sundays. And you make time for all these other things. Oh, but this is so-and-so's birthday. I got to go to that. Oh, so-and-so's brunch. I got to go to that. I owe them this. You don't owe nobody nothing. And 9 out of 10, if you do owe somebody something, that one time you do it, that's it. That's it. But if it's a true friend, Going back to the circle, if it's a true friend, you don't owe them anything. They will understand what you have going on, and you can get them on the back end. Because people who, when you do something for somebody, it should be from the heart, not from the opportunity to get it in return. And if anybody holds you accountable with that much angst and urgency, then they never really wanted to do the thing they did for you in the first place. We always keep people around, and we stay around people because we feel we owe them. I see that a lot in relationships. You know, one person is doing something for somebody else, and they've been carrying them. There was a moment when maybe they didn't have a job that was making enough money, and the other person did. Maybe there was a situation where, you know, they had a low point in their life, and that significant other really carried them. But now you realize, you know, I can't be here. You don't owe them. Like, you're actually hurting them by staying around, knowing that you don't want to be with them long term. That was a season that you guys went through. And what you don't realize is that person helping you probably satisfied something that they need to learn. They probably learned something while they were doing that. Learning what they can and what they cannot tolerate. Learning what they'll endure and what they won't endure. Learning what their breaking point is. Or learning that if this person leaves me, I can stand on my own 2 feet because I did it when they were down. So they already got what they needed. They already have the lessons learned from you. You don't have to stay around there and think that you owe them anything. Life happens. We go through things. We go through ups and downs. My wife made way more than me when we first started. I didn't stay around because I owed her anything. I stayed around because I love her and I want to be with her. And now now that the tables have turned, and I'm able to provide for this family in a way that I never saw possible. Well, actually, I saw it possible. I just didn't know when it would come, and it's here. And what you understand is I was intentional in understanding this is where I need to be. There were times that I had to check myself. You should always be asking yourself, am I happy? Are you happy? Is this where you want to be? If it's where you want to be, then damn it, you work for it. You work for it. Be intentional. Choose it daily. There's nothing wrong with that. So if I urge everybody watching this video, if there's anything that you are supposed to be doing, if there's a relationship that you want to mend with your parents, if there's a father that wasn't in your life because of their own requirements, their own mistakes and misunderstandings of their upbringing, I urge you to be intentional in healing that relationship. It starts with you. It starts with you. If there's a mother that wasn't there, that wasn't the best parent, but she did what she had to do with what she had, and now you are in a place where you have a little bit of animosity, I urge you to heal that. I urge you to be intentional and choose it daily. If you got kids and you just feel like, you know, there's something there that you can bend or you can mend and fix and heal, I urge you to heal that. If you got a job that you feel like you're in a hole, you feel like you're just being pigeonholed and there's no upward ladder, it's a glass ceiling, you can see it, but they won't let you to it. There's a lot of companies right now taking applications. I urge you to be intentional daily. If you are in a company and you feel like you can move forward, but you're not putting you're not doing the work, be intentional daily. Put your name out there. Ask for more responsibility. There's so many things that we can do as human beings to be intentional and to choose success and to choose wins daily. If you want to be more involved in your church, what's stopping you from when you leave in church to ask, hey, what can I do around here? How can I be more of a service? Because you have to have a servant heart. You have to have servitude. So I know I'm going on a bit of a rant, but dang it, that's what these videos is for. So I urge you, each and everybody watching this video, be intentional. Do not worry about the impact of the people around you. The people who are meant to be around you, they will still be there after you finish the journey that you are on. But it's all about you choosing to be intentional daily. What you think of, what you desire, what you want, it matters. If somebody tells you that it doesn't, I sit before you today to tell you that it does. What you want, what you desire, your passions and desires of your heart, it matters. As long as they are good and just, they will work in your favor. He will work everything out for the good, and you can attain it. You can get there. You can be successful, whether it's monetary, whether it's emotionally, whether it's physically. You want to get in the gym, you want to look a certain way, choose it daily. Be intentional. Have a sense of intentionality. It's on your purpose and choose it daily. There's nothing stopping you from stepping into the person that you want to be. There's nothing stopping you but you. We are getting in the way of ourselves so much, day in and day out, because we're worried about how many likes I'm gonna get. I can't post this because this is judgmental. I did this. I don't want nobody to see me here. I don't want nobody to know that I praise the Lord this way. I don't want nobody to know that what I'm going through. Why do you care? You have a purpose. You have intent. You need to put it into action daily. We tend to let people day after day get in the way of our blessing, get in the way of the Lord being able to bless us. He wants to bless us despite what others say. But we're so worried about the opinion. Social media has really, really, really jacked up the way that people view people and the way people think. I have to do this. Instead of having a good moment, a good dinner with my family or with my friends, I have to get a picture of my food. I have to get a picture of my outfit. KOTD, kicks of the day. And sometimes I fall victim to it too. But we have to be intentional in anything that we do. Be intentional in the moment. Be intentional in your heart. Be intentional in your mind. Anything that you want, anything that you need, you can get it. Be intentional and go after it. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you watching this video. There will be much more content. If you want to follow me on Instagram, TCS_J Stokes. And I don't really be on Twitter like that, but TCS_J Stokes on Instagram. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. Get back at you. One.